Hello, everyone. My name is Dylan Marsh, and I'm currently an undergraduate student here at the University of Guelph. I would like to welcome you to the College of Physical and Engineering Sciences Convocation ceremony this evening. The University of Guelph is honored by our graduates, and we take great pride in this convocation. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the proceedings today. The ceremonials used for conferring degrees have evolved over a millennium, and the gowns and hoods represent that history. In general, the gowns for the baccalaureate and the magisteriate degrees are black, and the color of the hood is different for each degree program. The doctorates at the University of Guelph have a bright blue gown, and the honorary degrees are an even brighter color. The University of Guelph crest that you see on the curtains behind me and shown on the cover of the convocation program also represents our specific history. The emblems in the crest show links with the royal city of Guelph through the white stallion above, the connection to liberal arts through the book, to the sciences through the astrolabe, and our connection to abundance and agriculture through the cornucopia. The University of Guelph motto, Rerum cognoscere causis, is a quote from Virgil. It is variously translated to be either, happy is the one who is able to ascertain the reason of things, or perhaps to know the meaning of things. The procession of people into the hall are also influenced by ancient tradition. The piper will hail the start of the procession of graduands, the students who are coming to graduate today. They will be followed by the arrival of the mace leading the platform party. The mace is a symbol of authority of the university and will be carried by the beadle. In medieval universities, the beadle was chosen by the instructor to work as an assistant. Today, the beadle is the ceremonial officer of Senate. Following the beadle and mace is the vice-chancellor, members of the administration and the honorees, fellows of the university, members of the board and senate, and members of faculty and staff. The degrees will be conferred in the order that you see in your program. The degrees are separated by categories representing the specific degree being awarded within the college. We will begin with the doctorates and the magisteriates, followed by the baccalaureate degrees. The name reader will announce the degree being awarded at the start of each category. As the name of each student is called, the beadle will place the hood over the recipient's shoulders. This moment will be videoed and, technology willing, there will be a simultaneous live cast of the event to allow family members and friends to watch from a distance. The Vice-Chancellor will then confer the degree. We understand the joy and excitement accompanying such an auspicious occasion, but we ask that you hold your applause until after each group of graduates has crossed the stage. There will be an opportunity for a truly thunderous applause after each group has graduated. Once all the degrees are conferred and all the cheers are cheered, the Vice-Chancellor will then close the ceremony and a recessional will play. Please remain standing during the recessional until all the platform party has processed out of the hall. I would like to also mention that today we are introducing a new feature to Convocation. Our colleagues from Alumni Affairs and Development are hosting a new social media program developed for Convocation. So share your photos, memories, and advice with graduating students by joining us on social media and using the hashtag #GuelphGrad. Could I also ask that once the ceremony begins that you please turn off your cell phones. Finally, may I be the first person to congratulate the graduates on their various successes and offer my congratulations to the family and friends who are here to support them. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Guelph.
Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all our sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
I would like to acknowledge the Attawandaron people on whose traditional territory the University of Guelph resides, and offer respect to our Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Métis neighbors as we strengthen our relationships with them. Some people think that if there's no higher power behind this universe, as many of you, including me, have concluded, there can be no real significance, much less spiritual significance, to an event like this. I disagree. If you are the parent or friend of one of these graduands, you know that today is significant. Some of you may be so surprised and even shocked that your son, daughter, or friend made it to this day that you now believe in miracles, if not God. You are proud of what they have accomplished. As they face the challenge of finding the right context to apply their education, may you continue your support, always mindful that to be loving, caring, and encouraging is at the heart of providing the spiritual care that we all need in life. If you are one of the faculty members who taught, cajoled, encouraged, and mentored these graduands to reach this milestone, you too know this day is significant. May you have a deep sense that it was worth it, that this is what all their years of education were for, that this is what all your years of education were for, and may you have renewed energy to do the same with the next class of undergrads. And for the students before me who are graduating tonight, may you be thankful, determined, and good. Thankful for your parents, your profs, and the life force that brought you into existence, determined to make this a better world, and good both in your field and in your character. If spirituality is about values more than beliefs, you have been encouraged at the University of Guelph to embrace life-enhancing values like caring and compassion, along with your academic achievement. Whether you believe in a higher being, an impersonal life force, or simply in life, love, and goodness in our universe, may this be one of the most significant days of your life as you now become more equipped than ever in whatever field you go into to change lives and improve life. Amen, which means so be it, and you may be seated.
Hello again. Members of the board, honorary fellows and faculty of the university, families and friends of the graduands, and last but certainly not least, graduands. Welcome to the celebration of Convocation at the University of Guelph. My name is Franco Vaccarino, and I have the honor of serving as the President and Vice Chancellor of this great university. And I'm privileged to welcome you all here to Convocation this evening. I'd like to extend a particular welcome to this evening's special guest, Dr. William Smith, who will be named University Professor Emeritus, and he will be introduced to you formally in a moment. And I had the delightful time last night, spending time with Dr. Smith and his family. So wonderful to have you here. As we begin today's convocation ceremony, I do believe that a few congratulatory remarks are in order. First off, graduands, this is your big day. You've worked hard, you've persevered, and you've made it. Well done, well deserved. Now, before we go on, and a big part of this evening, of course, is about you, but we're going to reserve a little part of this evening about another group. So before we go on, graduates, there's a group of individuals here who I'm sure you would agree deserve your special attention. So I'm going to suggest something here. I'm going to invite you all to stand up for a moment, if you could, the graduates. And I'd ask you actually now to turn around, salute and applaud all those family members and friends who have supported you from the sidelines all these years. Great, thank you very much. That's great. By the way, it's a great view from here when I look at it. Looks, thank you. In preparing this welcome, I reflected on how this university has prepared you, our graduates, for this very moment and for the years that will follow. So let me explain. I'm an optimist by nature. In many ways, I very much believe that we're living through what might be remembered as one of the most exciting and important periods in history. The world today is marked by unprecedented dynamism, incredible advances in life sciences and physical sciences, in information and communications technology, in the sheer volume of discovery and knowledge. And through all this change, advances in the social sciences and the arts and the humanities test our belief systems. They challenge our constructs against new and evolving societal contexts. And by doing so, they offer new information that helps us adapt to our changing realities. We're also witnessing disciplines, areas of study that have been isolated for many years coming together in fresh and exciting ways, like music and computer technology, healthcare and robotic engineering, manufacturing and agriculture. The interconnectedness of our world today makes knowledge more abundant and more accessible than ever. This is accelerating discovery and new learning faster than many of us can even keep up with. So what are the attributes? What are the attributes of humans that will allow us to thrive in such dynamic and fast-changing times? Well, they include the ability as individuals and as a university for us to adapt and to readapt in a healthy way to uncertainty, to adapt to uncertainty and change. And by adaptation, I don't mean simple passive habituation. I'm referring to the act of very consciously, very deliberately redefining ourselves based on what's going on around us. When faced with change, people adapt. Sometimes they adapt in healthy ways, sometimes they adapt in not so healthy ways. The opportunity for you, our graduates, is to embrace change and adapt in healthy ways. To undertake thoughtful analysis that will help uncover what I like to call the upside of uncertainty, the upside of change. That upside provides hope, provides inspiration, and it fuels discovery. It's about taking uncertainty and change and turning it into something special. Today, an important part of our mission as a university has been to provide our students, you, our graduates, with an environment of broad perspectives and analysis, and the opportunity for you to adapt in healthy ways to a changing world. Now, in pursuit of all this healthy adaptation, we must also remember and work to preserve and enhance what makes Guelph so unique. Our integrity, our team and community spirit, characterized by the willingness to look out for our neighbors and to work together towards common goals, and demonstrated through our volunteer work across this beautiful city and truly around the world. How and what you choose to explore should be grounded in and guided by these timeless values that we've held for 150 years. Now, our university has worked hard to provide you with the tools to successfully navigate and adapt through the complexities and dynamics of modern society, and to provide you with hope and clarity. We've tried to instill an ability to adapt, and indeed, I would say, to thrive within a more ambiguous and ever-changing environment. And we've built a physical environment that has supported your campus experience, a campus experience that has exposed you to meaningful learning, world-renowned breakthroughs, and personal growth. Through all this, the University of Guelph has provided you with what I would say is a home away from home. And it's happened during a key transition in your own personal journeys, during a key period of transformation in your own development. In short, we believe that the university has provided you with a nurturing environment, an environment that has enhanced learning and incubated new ideas by facilitating meaningful human interaction and productive collaboration. Now, the debate and discussion encouraged by university environments goes beyond technical skill and the passing on of information and knowledge. It's in this physical space that you've developed the analytical and the soft skills that will serve you well through each and every job you might have. What you have learned here goes beyond the teaching of subject matter strictly, and there's plenty of that, but it goes beyond that. And it goes toward the process of learning to learn, adaptation, creativity. As successful graduates, many of you will blend knowledge, mixing and matching ideas from separate discipline, adapting and readapting to a fast-changing world. Your time at Guelph has provided you with the creative skills and the intellectual skills to apply that knowledge in innovative ways, in energizing ways, and in new and different ways. So as you enter this exciting next stage of your lives, I encourage you all to draw on your University of Guelph experiences as learners and as members of a very special community, and to bring the very, very best that you have to offer to each and every experience you encounter, to your life, to your personal relationships, and to your service to society. Thank you very much. Congratulations and all the very, very best.
On the recommendation of the Senate of the University of Guelph, it is my honor to present to you William Smith for the distinction of University Professor Emeritus. Over the span of his career, Dr. Smith has made influential contributions to administration, teaching, and research at the University of Guelph. He joined the University of Guelph in 1979 as a professor and chair in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. During his tenure, the department achieved significant growth in a new undergraduate program in applied mathematics, and a diploma in applied statistics were developed. The MSc graduate program grew, and the PhD program in applied mathematics and applied statistics were approved. He was a pioneer in the use of computer technology in his teaching and led the establishment of the first undergraduate student microcomputer laboratory on campus. In 2003, Professor Smith left the University of Guelph to become the founding Dean of Science at the University of Ontario Institute of Technology, UOIT, but maintained his connection as an adjunct professor in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. Dr. Smith's distinguished research career cuts across several disciplines. His early research included the development of algorithms for the calculation of chemical reaction equilibria, modeling of natural phenomena, biochemical biomedical systems, and models for renewable resource management. His current research interests lie in the statistical mechanics of fluids and macroscopic thermodynamics, particularly oriented towards the application in chemistry and chemical engineering. By the way, I can tell you this is cool stuff. In addition to developing several new approaches in the field, he is co-author of a classic textbook on the calculation of chemical reaction equilibria and has received over 700 citations. He has received numerous awards and honors for his research, is recognized internationally, and has collaborations that extend to Mexico, France, the Czech Republic, and Japan. Professor Smith has had a sustained relationship with the Department of Mathematics and Statistics and is now engaged with the Department of Chemistry. His research programs provide cross-disciplinary opportunities for faculty and students, which enrich both departments. In well-deserved recognition of his outstanding and ongoing contributions to both the scholarly community and the University of Guelph, I ask you, Mr. Chancellor, to confer upon Dr. William Smith the distinction of University Professor Emeritus.
By the authority of the Senate of the University of Guelph, I have the honor to name you University Professor Emeritus. Congratulations. And now I'm pleased to invite Dr. William Smith to give the convocation address.
Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the Board of Governors, colleagues and guests, and most of all, the graduates. I'm proud to be part of this event that's honoring your hard work. And I think that it's particularly important to recognize the contributions of your parents and other supporters. But I've been upstaged on that, so I won't ask you to do a round of applause. Today is a time for us all to pause for a moment. That's the graduates and myself. It's a good opportunity to pause and engage in some reflection, because it's important to remember that in any significant trip, the journey is often more important than the destination. And in the journey of life, your graduation day today is an important way station. And let me trace some of them. First one was when you were born, of course. Your first day of school, I don't know if you remember that. Your parents, I'm sure, do. You graduated from high school and now from university. And if you haven't already passed them, you'll encounter other important way stations. You'll gain your first permanent job, we hope, soon. Meet and fall in love with someone, perhaps settle down and have children, then grandchildren, all the time, growing older until reaching our final destination here on Earth. Now, I'm probably the age of your grandparents, the graduates, and being a grandparent is a great way station in life. Let's hear it for the grandparents. Any grandparents here? Hands up. Yes. You know, the grandparents and grandchildren, they get along so well automatically. And it's been said one reason is that they have the natural bond in that they have a common enemy. So what are the most of the journey of life? In other words, what's the answer to the ultimate question of life? I'll come back to that later. So please pay attention because it'll be on the exam. To reflect a little bit, one aspect of life is our past experiences on the journey, which both inform us and shape our future. Many of them happen at a local personal level, but they take place in a societal environment and historical context that's distinct for each generation. If you were born near the beginning of the previous century, the Great War, of course, was an overriding influence. Subsequent generations were shaped by the Great Depression, then World War II. Then there followed generations now called the baby boom generation, then Generation X between 1960 and 1980, that's probably your parents, followed by your generation, referred to as either Generation Y or as millennials, and don't you hate those words? So how has your social environment and influences been different from those of my generation, and probably your parents as well? And grandparents, maybe we'll stretch that far. When I was growing up and I was about your age, which I'm guessing is somewhere between 22 and 30, the graduates, I remember there was the Sputnik satellite launch in '57, the Kennedy assassination in '63, Then the rise of rock and roll and culminating in the Beatles and beyond. Now that's a great intergenerational example that even my grandkids love the Beatles. The birth of the Canadian flag that was first flown on Parliament Hill on February 15th, just this week. And let me make an editorial remark that I'm a little bit upset with the federal government at not making a bigger deal out of it than what they did. However, we'll let that pass for the moment. Canada's 100th birthday in 1967 and Expo 67. And of course, there was another once-in-a-lifetime event that occurred in 1967. The Toronto Maple Leafs won the Stanley Cup. The first man on the moon in July 69, Neil Armstrong, who just passed away at 82 in 2012. The Quebec FLQ crisis in October 1970. The Team Canada win in the first Russia-Canada series in 1972. And the CN Tower in 75. I'll stop there because I think that's probably about the oldest of the graduates that are around there. The biggest thing in the ensuing years after that, it's still going on today, is the rapid development in computers and IT. The internet started in the 1970s, and the Apple II, the IBM PC, the Commodore 60. Any of us oldsters here still remember that, I'm sure. The World Wide Web in '89, that's when it started. And today we carry around computers in our pocket that are as powerful as those that were in use when I was your age. What's characterized the timeline of your generation, the graduates? The fall of the Berlin Wall occurred near when you were born. Significant events such as Y2K, the non-event, I guess, in the end. The terrible 9/11 event. The second Quebec referendum in '95. The H1N1 pandemic in 2009 all come to mind. But the most obvious and influential aspect of your lives thus far is that computers have always been an integral part of it. You've known computers since you were born pretty well. You've experienced huge software developments made possible by the internet. Blogs, wikis, Facebook, Google, Pinterest, Tumblr, texting, email. You know when the first email was sent? Of course, youngsters don't use email anymore. It's all texting. It's just us oldsters that use email. It was 1972. And what will your future bring? Someone said that life is what happens when you're making plans for the future. Let me make some guesses, though. One of the key differences, as I'm sure you're all aware, between my generation when I graduated and yours now, is the job market, quite different. In my time, jobs were plentiful, and we all realize that things are completely different now. The only thing I can do is offer some hope and a little advice. However, I should caution that someone once said that free advice is often worth what you pay for it. But I do firmly believe that University of Guelph education in science and engineering has provided a firm foundation for your future career, whatever that may be. Whatever the future brings, jobs will arise that we don't even know about today. But your broad-based and sound education here is a good preparation that the future will invent. And it will surely bring new employment opportunities involving information technology, robotics and drones, they're around now, smart everything, the Internet of Things, there's a lovely phrase. It's a well-defined field now, referring to the use of network-connected devices to manage devices of other types of all kinds, home appliances, washing machines, driverless cars. The field's even subdivided into smart wearable, smart home, smart city, smart environment, and smart enterprise applications. We'll also have IT-enabled smart applications of science and technology in the health field. The role of epigenetics, the interaction of genes in the environment, and its application in the evolution of personalized medicine is a good example, I think. Even today, you can have your genome mapped for the order of a few $100s. But of course, that raises interesting dilemmas. Do you really want to know the possibilities of contracting certain elements? And who's going to own the data? What will insurance companies do with that? Now for the ultimate question of life that I promised to come back to. The answer, which remembers on the exam, is 42. Hands up if you know that. Bonus marks for all of you. For those who didn't know that, in Douglas Adams' science fiction spoof masterpiece, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, written around 1980. It's a timeless treasure. So for those graduates of today who haven't read it, I recommend it. You'll read it in one sitting. My son recommended it to me quite a number of years ago. There's a backstory in the adventures of Arthur Ford, the hero, that would pop up now and then throughout the book about a huge supercomputer that was continuously working away on the question of the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. At the very end of the book, and many light years later in the story, it finally found the answer, which was 42. But by the end, the computer and everyone else had forgotten the problem it had been working on. So an even bigger supercomputer had to be built to find the question, to which this was the answer. Now some advice, but one other small remark about advice, and it's about Mark Twain. He told a story about his father. He said, when I was 18, my father was an idiot. But when I was 21, I was surprised at how much he had learned in that short time. So here's my list. Nurture your physical health through exercise and a proper diet. Young people often don't do that. I know I didn't. Nurture your emotional health. Cherish your friends and family. Tell your family members often that you love them, particularly grandparents. Keep up with current events, newspaper, computer, anything. It will help you see your place in the world and make you a more interesting person. Read books as much and as often as you can. They'll open your mind to new ideas and points of view. Participate in society. Fill in your census form. Vote. Ensure that you and your children are vaccinated and not by a substitute that we have been reading about lately. Have goals for the future, but be prepared for detours along the way. Seek the advice of many, ultimately, but follow your own counsel in the end. And finally, try to leave the world a better place than when you entered it. I hope that in 3 years' time, you'll see the wisdom in at least some of these remarks. And finally, let me wish everyone Kung Hai Fat Choi, in honor of today's celebration of Chinese New Year, which is today. This is the year of the goat, which signifies good fortune and good luck. So all you graduates, hopefully you'll be blessed by that. So I wish everyone good luck in the future. Go forth and enjoy your journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Smith, for reminding us to enjoy the journey. I think these are very, very important words. Now, the thing about eating better and exercising is something I should keep in mind too, so thank you. Mr. Chancellor, it is now the moment for the graduating class, the moment that you've been waiting for. So will the graduating class please stand? Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University of Guelph, that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I hereby accept you for admission to your various and several degrees, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations appertaining thereto.
Will members of the graduating class please be seated?
Good evening, graduates and proud family and friends of the graduates. I'm sure you'll be excited, perhaps a little relieved, certainly very happy to see your graduate walk across the stage and be greeted by the Chancellor and the President. And you may want to express your emotions in some audible manner. This is fine. Please go ahead. But may we ask the general audience hold your collective applause until after we have presented each of the degree programs, and we will give you the cue. Thank you. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Physical and Engineering Science, that they may be admitted to the degree Doctor of Philosophy. J. Paul Reddy, Nagy Reddy. Stuart Thelbert Reed. Mehdi Sadegh Zadeh. Mohammed Uzair. Please join me in congratulating our Doctor of Philosophy graduates. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Physical and Engineering Science, that they may be admitted to the degree Master of Applied Science. Benjamin Adams. John Charles Cloutier. Sundas Jamal. Mark Monroe. Colin Alexander Weaver. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Physical and Engineering Science, that they may be admitted to the degree Master of Engineering. Navin Bindra. Emma Garden. Han Chow. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Physical and Engineering Science, that they may be admitted to the degree Master of Science. Miriam Alipur Agnam. Eric August Birkenhauer. William Owen Fairholm. Thomas Adam Menard. Keith Poor. Please join me in congratulating our magisteriate graduates from the College of Physical and Engineering Science.
Hi, everyone. I'm the Dean of the College of Physical Engineering Science, Tony Vanelli. It is my pleasure to be reading the names for the recipients that have received the bachelor's degrees. First, before we begin, I'd like to thank everyone and the students in particular, the graduates, congratulations, and to the parents and loved ones for everything that you've done together in achieving this success. The college will be honoring recipients of 3 degree programs: the Bachelor of Computing. Stefan Kramer, the director of the School of Computing, will be reading those names. The Bachelor of Engineering, Dr. Hussein Abdullah, the director of School of Engineering, will be reading those names, and I will conclude with the recipients of the Bachelor of Science. Thank you. Stefan, if you can join me.
Thank you. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Physical and Engineering Science that they may be admitted to the degree Bachelor of Computing Honors. Yi Hong Chu with distinction. Nicholas Matthew Malloy. Jason Carl Hersey Taylor. Please join me in congratulating these students who've received the Bachelor of Computing Honors degree.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Physical and Engineering Science that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Engineering Honors Program. Matthew Armister. Jonathan Franklin James Auckland. Kevin Jeffrey Bowman. Tyler Gordon Bowman. Laura Elizabeth Jane Rogan. Douglas Neil Campbell. Teresa Lynn Philo. Alexander Nigel Hilton Fry. Jordi Davidson Guld. Colin James Charles Grief. Meret Nagy Hanini. Aaron Evans. Happy birthday. Vazuda Kalia. Timur Afran Khan. Winston Cook. Nicholas McKenzie. Peter Andrew Morielli. With distinction, Emily Nucloid Nickerson. Tushar O'Bray. Vanessa Otigener. Christian Larsen Schultz. Christine May Scudmore. Shubham Shrinji. Parkland Siriklantha. Kathleen Mary Stone. Tanu Sayal. Jeremy Patrick Tracy. Kelvin Turland. Isabel Wers. Grigory Young. Please join me in congratulating the Bachelor of Engineering graduate for winter 2015.
Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you these scholars from the College of Physical and Engineering Science that they may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science Honors Program. Nicole Carol Bannerman. Caroline Bartholomew. With distinction, Hilary Page Boucher. Congratulations. Jessie Elizabeth Heiberg Cameron. Congratulations. With distinction, Brennan Chapman. Andrew Curran. With distinction, Jamie Esposito. Connor Andrew Gibney. With distinction, Sharona Golden. Catherine Alexandra Hertler. Andrew Hollingshead. Melissa Garcia Ignacio. With distinction, Matthew Joseph Kavchik. Gabrielle Susan May Martin. Matthew Alexander Reeve. Gurminder Meena Sanghera. With distinction, Nathan Daniel Frederick Shami. Jessica Marie Soa. With distinction, Christina Leigh Watts. Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you this scholar from the College of Physical and Engineering Science that it's a he, that he may be admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science General Program. Philip Dow. Please join me in congratulating all the graduates from the college.
Mr. Chancellor, I would ask you to confer the various and several degrees on the graduates listed in the program but unable to be present at this ceremony.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the University of Guelph, I confer the various and several degrees in absentia on the graduands not present.
Well, graduates, we're nearly there. But I have the pleasure of actually providing some final remarks for tonight's ceremony. But I promise to be brief. I know you have some celebrating to do, especially the person whose birthday it is today. So today we came together to celebrate a very important transition in your life. And it's easy to think of it as the end of a perhaps long process, with days of studying and exams and assignments now behind you. But the process of learning never quite ends here. And in fact, it will not end here, nor did it begin when you first arrived at the University of Guelph. And it will not end when you exit this room. Today is the beginning of a lifetime of learning, of a lifelong learning process during which the education you've received here at the University of Guelph, both inside and outside the classroom, will serve you very well. We hope that we have succeeded in opening your eyes to the complexity of life and to the multitudes of perspectives based on culture, upbringing, and experience. We hope that we've given you a glimpse of a greater knowledge of the world around us, of how humans interact with each other, for good and for bad, of arts and science and history, and of the importance of caring for each other and for the planet we live on. Remember that the education you have received provides you with opportunities and responsibilities. On one hand, it allows you the capacity to take advantage of opportunities that will serve your own personal goals. But on the other hand, it highlights your responsibility to play an important role in civil society, whether it be local, national, or international. So we ask you to be active participants in the world around you, because the world needs you. It needs you to help us resolve serious societal issues. We need you to make informed decisions that can take into account the complexity of the global world. And we definitely need you to apply your knowledge and energy to address increasingly complex social problems. But of course, dealing with these important issues will not be easy. All important things tend to be somewhat difficult. And many of us often feel that a single person's efforts will not resolve the complexity of the world's problems. But if not you, and in fact, if not us, who will? Who will be responsible? Your university education has provided you with critical skills to answer complex questions. It's provided you with ways to research, communicate, inform, and influence. So it's now up to you to put this knowledge to good use and to make your mark on the world around you. And as you make that mark, remember that the University of Guelph has become a small part of who you are, and at the same time, you've also become part of our collective history. Your association with the University of Guelph is lifelong. Know that you're always welcome to return, to visit, to learn more, and to continue sharing in this vibrant community of learning. We're proud of your achievement, and on behalf of the entire University of Guelph, I offer you my personal congratulations and best wishes for an exciting and successful future. Congratulations. This is our final convocation for the week. I have just a brief announcement to make to conclude. Following convocation, Dean Tony Vanelli will host a reception for all graduates and their guests at Quilman Hall. This is an opportunity to congratulate the graduates, and we hope that you can arrange to attend. The other thing is, if graduates could please go downstairs and grab your belongings, and at the same time, drop off your hood and gowns, which have a tendency to leave sometimes. We'd like to give them as gifts, by the way, but such is life. So please return your hoods and gowns downstairs. And once again, I'd like to wish you congratulations. We're proud of your accomplishments, and I will leave the few final words to Chancellor Mirvish.
Convocation is dismissed.